Donald J. Trump, definition of American success: a billionaire, investor, a business manager, and a candidate for President of the United States in the 2016 presidential election. His claim is immigrants are taking away too much American money. So his solution:
I love Mexico. Their leaders are too smart for us. We have no border. We will build a wall. Mexico will pay for the wall, by the way. We're building a wall. We're going to have a border. And people are going to come into our country, but they're going to come in through a legal process. They're not coming in the way they're coming in now, just walking in like nothing. They're going to come in, but they're going to come through a legal process.
Why not hear what other people say about Trump's ironic idea?
How do you feel about Donald Trump's decision to make a wall, a border for separating the United States and Mexico?
How do I feel about? Well, I don't think it's going to actually happen. However, I do understand what he's thinking. However, one of the things he's thinking is limiting the amount of immigrants or people coming into this country that are taking jobs from other people. But I personally don't feel like that's the actual issue. I think the issue is more or less that there are people here who are not necessarily qualified for the jobs that we do have.
The 2016 presidential campaign, how do you feel about that?
Well, I haven't been following it myself, but I know there's a big controversy about Donald Trump running and the things he's been saying. So, yeah.
Okay. How do you feel about Donald Trump and his decision of making a wall, a border for Mexico and the United States?
Well, I don't think we should all be mad at Donald Trump because Donald Trump is just portraying the America that the world doesn't see. So while others may say he's a racist, he's just the typical American man that has the audacity to say what everybody else is thinking.
Okay, go two simple questions. First one is, how do you feel about the 2016 presidential campaign?
I feel like Donald Trump is actually getting too much publicity over the racial things that he's saying about Muslims. And I feel like the border idea is actually what every state should do since they don't allow immigrants here.
Okay. How do you feel about Donald Trump's decision of making a border across Mexico and the United States?
Well, I don't know. Like, what he's doing is really political. It's interesting. Whenever he drops in the polls, he says something completely crazy and horrible, and his numbers go back up. So, he's kind of a nonsense guy. What's interesting is how popular he is. That's the anxious thing, that people are responding to a message like that, and they respond to it in a positive way, and that's scary. That's really scary because the economic benefits to immigration and the fact that there's a certain amount of just prejudice and stereotyping that happens with immigrants, that's alarming and scary. But at the same time, I'm not really worried about him because he's so preposterous. I just can't imagine he'll ever be in a position where his nuts policies are ever going to have any material impact.
Okay, and last question, do you think he should win?
Donald Trump? Oh God, no! God, no! That'd be disastrous. He won't, though. He won't. It would be so disastrous. I can't imagine it happening.
Okay.
I know how hard it's going to be. I mean, it took me a decade to get Democrats on board with comprehensive immigration reform, and so I know it's going to be difficult for them. But look, I still believe we can get it done this year.
The senator from Texas.
You know, I would note it is sad that the Democratic leader chooses to stand with violent criminal illegal aliens instead of the American citizens. But even sadder is that he impugns legal immigrants. When the Democratic leader suggests that incarcerating aggravated felons, murderers and rapists who illegally re-enter this country is somehow a slight to immigrants, well, Mr. President, I am the son of an immigrant who came legally from Cuba. There is no one in this chamber who will stand and fight harder for legal immigrants than I will.
How would this affect school?
How would this affect jobs? But mostly, how would this affect our community?